Welcome to Talmudic Treasures. Today we're learning Ketubot page 74, which discusses the origin and the primary source when it comes to all these different conditions that a person makes. We've been learning in the past few pages that when a man at the time of his marriage says, I'm going to marry you, but al manas, on conditions so-and-so, so we say that those conditions must be exact, otherwise we say they were never married. Now, the way that we learn conditions is actually from the Torah, that there were two tribes, the tribes of Gad and the tribe of Reuven. They, and eventually the half of the tribe of Manasseh, they went to Moshe and they said that they were not interested in moving to Israel. Instead, because they had a massive amount of cattle, very large tribes, they would rather live on the Transjordan, namely on the eastern side of the Jordan River. And they said, therefore, we don't want a portion in the land of Israel. We'll live right on the outskirts. And on this, Moshe, after being a little bit surprised that someone would not want to inherit the land of Israel, which Moshe himself, unfortunately, couldn't even make it into the land of Israel. That's how much he desired it, but he couldn't even step foot there. But nonetheless, he said, I'll make a condition. And the condition is that if you join us in battle and you fight the entire time, and it took a long time, 7 years of fighting, 7 years of the division of the land, then I will grant your request, and you will be able to inherit the land on the east of the Jordan River. But if you decide not to join your brethren in fighting and conquering the land of Israel, then I'm not going to grant your request. So we see from here, and it's discussed in many places, how a condition is met is completely dependent on this story. And it has to be exactly like that. If it doesn't fit into that exact type of condition, then we say that the condition means nothing. So in this situation, what's unique is we know that Moshe never ended up going into the land of Israel. So who actually was able to fulfill the words of Moshe? It was his successor. It was Joshua. Joshua brought the Jewish people over the Jordan River, and he was the one who was involved in the conquest and the division of the land of Israel, ultimately giving the Transjordan over to, as I said, Reuven, Gad, and half of Manasseh. Now, it's interesting, Moshe made the condition, but it was through an agent that it was able to be fulfilled because it wasn't done until the time of Joshua. So therefore we say, whenever a person makes a condition, it has to be that not only are you able to fulfill it, but when you have an agent as well, they have to be able to fulfill it. And therefore, if we find a situation where a person does a form of Kedushin, or whatever ceremony it may be, and there is a condition attached to it, so in that case, it has to be that an agent could actually also perform the ceremony. So in this, the Talmud talks about, as we saw in many times, about the laws of chalitza. In a situation where a woman's husband died and they're childless, so she is either to do yibum, marry this man's brother, or she's released with chalitza. Now, if the man makes a condition at the time of the chalitza, we say that condition means nothing, because only he can do the chalitza. He cannot appoint an agent to do it on his behalf. And therefore, for that reason, that condition doesn't mean anything. It has to be the condition that was already stated, and it has to be identical in its format to the tribe of Gad and Reuven.